All right, can we talk about Anika Wells, the sports minister?
We have to.
I tell you what, everyone else is, so we might as well, because she's in all sorts of trouble. First it emerged she'd paid, what was it, $94,000 to fly herself and a couple of staff members to New York. Then there was the matter of 3 trips to Paris within 12 months, costing about $120,000, including a $1,000 dinner for just a few people at a Paris restaurant. There's the family trip to Thredbo. There's Oasis tickets, AFL tickets, NRL tickets. It goes on and on. Here's Anika Wells explaining herself on Sunday. Have a listen.
At the end of the day, I don't write these rules.
They might pass the guideline test, but you must see that they don't pass the pub test.
Andrew, you and your viewers can absolutely have an opinion about the rules.
Here's my problem with this minister. She talks about, well, it's not wrong, but is it wise? She talks about, well, I can do this, but the real question is, should you do this? As a cabinet minister in a cost of living crisis, is this really the sort of behaviour that most people would say is acceptable? Now, an interesting article in the Courier Mail today by former Labor Housing Minister Robert Schwarten, who defends Anika Wells, saying pub test. Who cares about the pub test? Everyone at the pub is drunk anyway, so what would they know? But he writes, Caleb, can you believe this? It is no coincidence that Ms Wells faces this barrage on the eve of bringing to life world-first laws that aim to curb child suicide. So it's not that the minister has done anything wrong. It's not that she shouldn't have spent all this taxpayer money. The issue here is people are just upset about the social media ban. I guess it's a bunch of 14-year-olds who want their YouTube accounts back, who are bringing all this into the public domain to try and get back at the minister. Do you buy that argument?
If it's the 14-year-olds who want their YouTube accounts back, maybe the kids ain't so bad after all. Put them in charge, I reckon. It's a bizarre line of defence, is it not? Because he said, and he goes on to say directly, oh, you know, they just want to cut down the tall poppy.
Yeah.
Because, of course, that tall poppy went over to the US at a cost of, you know, nearly $100,000 for her and a few staff to talk about this social media ban. And Mr Schwarten says of all of this, truth is she went commercial, and anyone who has had to book a last-minute flight will know the airlines love to tax passengers like that, hence the inflated price. Now, of course, the pub brigade, have a thing about class here, and if there was an economy minus where the passenger sat on the floor for 24 hours, then that too would spark outrage. Look, was it $93,000, $94,000?
94.
I think we can all say is a bit over the odds. Economy minus. I don't care, fly economy minus. And this is the other bizarre connection he tries to make. He says, here's the thing. It seems that no one in publand is concerned that Pauline Hanson has picked up over $6 million from the same taxpayer for just putting her privately owned party on ballot papers all over the country. Again, no rules broken, everyone does it. Although, to be fair, the big parties spend it on candidates and electioneering. Pauline is entitled to not tell us, as it's her money. Pub test? What pub test? Now, what he's talking about is if you get more than 4% of the vote in any electorate, you get federal funding. So the encouragement is that if you can actually pull a vote, you do get funding that is presumably then meant to go towards an election effort next time around. People can't just put their name on the ballot and expect to get money for it. And, of course, it's meant to discourage political donations. It's meant to level the field to some degree so that minor parties do have some money to compete with major parties. And he's somehow making a comparison from that to nearly $100,000 being spent on overseas travel at the last minute, taking your husband to the footy and the NRL and the Boxing Day test on the public dime. Of course, today we find out that she failed to lodge all of her interests and all the freebies she's had within the 28 days she was meant to do so. And that is the same as Pauline Hanson getting public money because she got more than 4% of the vote, and nobody gives a stuff because they just want to take down a tall poppy.
I think